Hi everyone, I'm Melissa.
I'm Preston.
And welcome to your weekly social. So today, we're going to talk about TikTok.
We're going to talk about TikTok?
We're going to talk about TikTok.
What about TikTok?
TikTok's shadow banning people.
What is shadow banning?
Shadow banning is hide a user's account and whatever they post or do from other followers in kind of like a sneaky way, so that they don't fully notice it until their viewers and everything kind of drops.
So they don't know about it.
They don't know about it.
Why are they shadow banning people?
They're shadow banning people just because community guidelines that are being broken, I guess, but also not being broken at the same time. It's very vague. TikTok's being real vague about it.
Well, what's it about?
Basically, what TikTok is doing is any user that mentions anything about like cryptocurrency, whether it's trying to educate or maybe trying to get a person to buy into something, TikTok is just saying, nope, this violates our community guidelines and sorry, we're gonna block your video and you might be banned from the platform for 24 hours, 2 days, maybe a week, maybe more, or you might lose your account altogether because of the content that you're posting.
So odds are this comes in light of a lot of controversy surrounding cryptocurrency as a whole. There have been exchanges that have gone through regulatory issues. There's a bill that went through the House and Senate within the infrastructure bill that got a lot of notable attention. And then there's been a trend on social media of influencers carrying out what is called a pump and dump or a rug pull, which is when a high-end influencer says, "What up, my thousands of followers? You should invest in this very highly speculative meme coin." So followers following the influencer go ahead and throw some money there. The price valuates, and then when it gets to a certain point where it's like, wow, this has made incredible gains, maybe starts to plateau a little bit, everybody who is in on the front floor, everyone who got in first, sells, walks away with a bunch of money. The object coin in question immediately goes down to pitiful amounts of money. Everyone who invested that didn't know about the con now has a useless asset, and the other people walked away scot-free with a bunch of money. Our best guess from this is that TikTok's trying to crack down on scams and other things from influencers on a wide influencer-heavy platform like their own to try and prevent this. However, the way they're carrying it out is dubious at best.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you have, like I mentioned earlier, you have influencers that are just trying to educate people on what cryptocurrency is, not trying to sell you on anything, not really trying to do anything besides, tell you what it is and what it means, because it's new, it's a little different. People don't always fully understand what it is. And so that's what they're trying to do.
So they're following the rules.
They're following the rules, but then because it's mentioned, TikTok says no and removes their video, and then no one can see it. If they keep doing that and the more content that they post, they're noticing that their viewer counts are dropping. Even their followers are noticing that overall they're like not popping up on the For You page that's meant for you, and if you're following them, it'll usually pop up. And so even their followers are noticing that they're not catching all the videos that are being posted. As you keep going into it, it is on cryptocurrency, and that's been a bigger one that people are mentioning, but it's also happening on a lot of other influencers' videos as well. And when their video gets blocked or shadow banned, these influencers will try to get in contact with TikTok and say, hey, what happened? What did I do wrong? And they either don't hear back at all and their videos don't even come back, or for some influencers, they have gotten some of their stuff back. The more common thing is that they don't know what they're doing wrong.
Yeah, our article of choice, we referenced a CNBC article that detailed kind of 11 people who'd gone through this. A few people are now about to, on the edge of getting permanently banned, and they still don't know why. Which is also kind of dangerous for TikTok, because if they're not telling them specifically why, does this open them up to trouble for partiality or discrimination?
And with that dip, there are a lot of influencers that are saying, okay, we'll pack up and go to any other platform, Instagram, Twitter even. There's still Snapchat. Like,
Even YouTube, which has its shorts feature, which is basically just TikTok.
Yeah, and Instagram has Reels. Hopefully TikTok has clearer guidelines and will maybe eventually start telling these influencers just what they're doing and clear up some of that confusion there, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Overall, we hope that TikTok's able to sort this out. Again, we hope that these influencers are able to not be monetarily punished with their livelihoods for a seemingly random and unspecified guideline. But regardless, based on our topic of today's conversation, you're probably not going to see this one on TikTok.
Yep. But that's all we have for today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.